Hi folks, well during our shows you'll have seen me and many of our other artists using Chroma Atelier Interactive. There is a reason for this. It's because of the buttery smooth consistency of these paints and the intensity of pigments that's an important deciding factor. I find this paint so important to the creative process. As a special offer for my wonderful audience, Chroma Australia is providing samples of this remarkable paint for my viewers to try at no cost. Just go to the Colour in Your Life website and register your email and address, and Chroma will send, yes, absolutely free, these fabulous paints for you to try.
G'day viewers, my name's Graham Stevenson and I'd like to invite you to come on a journey of creativity and learning and adventure through the series Colour in Your Life. There's an artist in every family throughout the world, and lots of times there's an artist deep down inside all of us as well. So grab your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your aunties, uncles and mums and dads and come and see how some of the best artists in Australia do what they do.
G'day viewers, here we are in Far North Queensland and we're actually at Port Douglas at the moment, and I'm actually just ridden onto the very famous Sugar Wharf in Port Douglas. We're up here for the next couple of weeks to actually film some of the amazingly talented human beings that are in Far North Queensland. We're going to be doing a whole series on the Northern Queensland artists, Indigenous and obviously the people that obviously inhabit Port Douglas area. Come along, it's going to be a great adventure and we really hope you enjoy North Queensland artist, Tropical. It's going to be great.
Hello, Craig.
Hello, Tanya, how are you? I'm good, darling. How have you been?
Well.
Excellent, excellent. Here we are in Far North Queensland in Cairns at Pier 1, and with me I've got an amazingly talented lady, Tania Heben, and we're going to be spending the day with Tanya while she does some of her work. Beautiful landscapes, tropical North Queensland, it's really just magnificent work. Tanya is an amazingly talented lady. She's actually going to be doing a landscape for us today. We're going to make a start on that very, very shortly. So why don't I get out of this stuff, we'll sit down and we'll just take it from there.
Terrific.
Excellent.
Okay, let's go.
Well, to say that Tanya's had an interesting past would be an understatement. You had Russian parents and you immigrated from Germany many years ago.
Yes.
And came to Australia, obviously moved to tropical North Queensland, but you've been in a few places up and down Australia, haven't you?
Yes, oh yes.
Well, whereabouts?
Not Western Australia, I've been up and down the east.
Up and down the east coast.
But mainly Queensland, I'm mainly a Queenslander.
And obviously with your work, I can see that you
Yeah.
obviously love the place.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I do.
From there you went to college, East Sydney Tech, and you became a midwife as well, and I think the midwife situation was because you wanted to pay for your passion, is that right?
Yes.
But tell me a bit about that.
Well, I did my general nursing training and my midwifery, and when I had time I would go to the East Sydney Technical College to draw.
Okay.
Because that was my passion and that's what I wanted to do.
And then from your work, she's become very, very successful up here. You know, you're one of those artists that does command some really decent prices for your work, but also the work that you do is really part of your expression of living in this area as well.
Absolutely, because I was originally invited to come up for 6 months to do some work for a gallery that was in Cairns at the time.
Okay.
And I came up and I never went back home, which was Victoria at the time. I stayed.
It's a wonderful story. And your work is so, so colourful, and it really does represent the area that you live in. You mostly work in oils, but in looking at the picture that you're going to be working with us today on, you use pastels to draft it out.
The initial draft I call blocking in.
Okay.
So I've done this in pastel, and I'll show you a way that I use. Okay, and now in here I've got some odorless terps.
Okay.
You can use gum terps or odorless terps. And what I do now is a very quick wash. At the end it'll look like a watercolour, but it's only a very blocking. Visually you start to see your spaces. Then I'll brush in also very light colour. And it really is a process of building.
Yeah, let's have a look at what you do now.
Okay.
Looks magnificent.
So that's, I do line my canvas up so that I always know where the centre is.
Okay.
And this helps for my composition.
Sure.
It's basically, you know, to get my composition and the balance, and then I sketch it in.
So do you have to change that rag a lot, or you just, it's okay if the colour drifts into one another?
No, it doesn't matter.
It's fascinating, it really is.
You know, you get much more clarity with a brush, but this just gives me my shape. It's my shape that I'm looking at the moment.
Now, in looking at your work, and even looking at this, which really stands out, it's very Gauguinish, isn't it?
I've always been told that, yes.
That so you've been influenced by Gauguin?
Oh, well, the schoolroom.
Yeah, you didn't have much choice, but still.
Reproductions on the wall, fabulous, you know, Gauguin, Van Gogh, yeah. Love the Impressionists.
Absolutely, yeah. So this technique here, is this something that you learnt yourself, or did you have a mentor of some sort that influenced you at all?
I've always, a painter always observes other people's work, things around you. So obviously I've done a lot of observation, but I think this has just evolved. Using the pastel has just evolved, and it works.
It's a great technique, yeah.
Because it's all pigment, and it goes in well with paint, you know.
It's amazing.
And it's easy to move on canvas. You know,
I just simply haven't seen it done with the solvent either. I have seen some artists use the water, which gets a sort of fairly. This is.
That'd be on paper.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, and obviously this is on canvas. Yeah.
So I'm almost done here with the drafting part. Then I will use brush and clean paint.
Yeah.
But basically, what that has given me is, if I stand back, I can see where things are going to go. I think I'm ready to go on to paint now.
All right, we'll get some paints out and we'll have a look from there. You've obviously sort of pre-prepared your palette over there.
Yes.
All right, beautiful. So what have you actually got that on? It's a bit of, what type of board is that?
I find anything that's laminated and waterproof works well for a palette. So I'll start with this one, and the colours aren't going to be as they're going to be finished. Basically, I'm just putting tonals down, colours. They'll be a little bit dirty, a little bit messy, but the next coat will be, you know, more clear and clear.
And you're building layers of paint.
Layers.
Is that what it is?
And one thing I don't use, and this is a choice, and that's black on my palette. And I've had many discussions with some artists about that, because black works well for some things. But for my work, and I think it's because of the clarity of the colours up here, I find the black pigment just dulls it a little bit too much.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree.
My darks are always dark blue, violets and greens and all that.
That's great, absolutely. Yeah, I do find myself that is the case, is that I always refer to black paint as a black hole.
It does. It completely, no more light comes through it.
Everything gets absorbed.
Yes.
Yeah, it really
and
does.
For some things, black works fabulous, you know, but it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
First of all, I'll do a little bit of blue in the sky, because we usually have blue skies here. Now that this colour is coming in from the pastel doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because I'm still going to put on several layers of coats over this. This is only a base colour. So, and I'll put a little bit of this sort of colour a little bit in the coastline.
Okay.
It'll change, but there would be, this is the ocean here.
So it's a little bit of paint into the liquid and back onto the canvas. A lot of the work that you actually get, I mean, for yourselves, are through commissions.
Just about all my work's commissioned.
Yeah. I mean, what a great way to be. Instead of painting and hoping somebody's going to walk in the door, you've got people that are lining up, knocking on the door.
It is a wonderful feeling, yes.
Yeah.
It's usually a very interesting experience as well, because it becomes very personalised, because you're doing something for someone who obviously likes your work.
Sure.
And the whole process it's a very nice interaction. Yes.
Yeah. You're obviously taking your own photos. When you go, do you go out and then shoot for a day or a couple of days to get the information you want?
If I'm working on a particular which I have got a couple of commissions at the moment, I do quite a lot of homework. I do a lot of photographs, I do the sketches, and I play with things. A lot goes into it. So once I start a big canvas, I'm ready for it.
Sure.
I know what I'm doing.
Now right there, you've got rid of one brush, and another one's just picked
because
up.
I'm picking up another colour.
Oh yeah, okay. Watching an artist that's obviously been doing it for as long as you have, it becomes very automatic. There's no thinking or stopping. You've got all your colours laid out around you in that great circle that you've got of colour there, and you just fire away. You know exactly where you're going with it.
You still labour with it. At one point you always have that battle with it, always.
It's like the birth of a child.
It is.
Now, in doing what you're doing today, or doing what Tanya is doing today, is that she's actually prepared a couple of pieces for us so that we can actually see the stages as these go through. This being the first one, using the pastels and then blocking these colours in. She's going to go to the next piece, which is a piece that she actually prepared beforehand, and because of the nature of oils, now if it was acrylics, not a problem, 20-30 minutes they'd be dried. But she's prepared a number of pieces so that we can work our way through to the final situation, and the finished product's actually quite a large painting. We're doing a little bit in reverse. But she's going to finish off blocking these guys, this one in here, so that you can see how this mechanism works. And then we're going to show you with the dried painting of the similar picture on how that technique develops as well, which is going to be really cool. Okay, well as you can see, we've actually gone from the first piece that Tanya did, which was as I said, this is a draft preparation piece. And Tanya's actually prepared this one a couple of days beforehand. And now she's going to demonstrate to us the other processes that she's going to use to take us through to the final painting, which is going to be much larger than this one anyway, isn't it? So where do we go from here?
All right. A lot of people cringe when I say this, especially when they've taken a canvas to a certain stage.
Yeah.
I say sandpaper.
Sandpaper?
Yes.
So what are you going to do with the sandpaper?
Just going to rub it down.
You're going to rub it down with sandpaper?
Yeah.
Okay.
And what it does, it just gets rid of, sort of a few blobbly bits that have dried. But also what it does, it gives the canvas a little more tooth.
Okay.
You know, because it's kind of buffed it up a bit.
Yeah.
So when I put the third or fourth layer of paint on, it takes it.
It'll draw it.
You know, if I just put it on there, a lot of it might slide.
Yeah.
Because it is dry.
Yeah.
So what this does, it gives it the canvas the ability to take the new coat of paint very well. So here I go.
Okay, well the sandpaper, my goodness gracious me.
If it's a big canvas, it's a good idea to go outside.
Oh, because obviously you're going to get the oil dust coming up as well.
Yeah.
All right, well let's have a look, because I've actually never seen this done.
And just dust it down a little bit.
So now we've got a little bit more of an edge on it, have we?
Yeah, and there's a bit of a thick blobby bit there that I'm not happy about.
Yeah.
So that takes that back a bit.
So you don't press overly hard. I mean, do you ever put a board behind this on a big
I
can?
don't. No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't. Not that.
You're not that aggressive.
No, only a little bit aggressive.
Okay, yeah, right.
It just sort of buffs it up and gives it a nice surface to work on.
What happens from here then? What do we do?
The same process, basically.
So you're just building those colours again?
Out, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
And it's almost, I suppose in a way, it's like painting a wall. You have an undercoat, you put an undercoat on, and then when you actually put your beautiful colour on, the beautiful colour looks beautiful because you have an undercoat.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
I think that's probably how it goes.
I've noticed that a lot with Tanya's work, is there's a real deep richness in the colours.
And you can only get that by building.
Okay.
You know, it doesn't, as I've demonstrated, with that one brush layer, you don't get that intensity of colour and that depth. Okay. It has to be built.
What do we do now?
Okay, palette?
Palette! Well, let's get the palette out. Still got our colours all set out very nicely.
Yeah, just added a little bit more. Might refill the liquid.
So we need more liquid.
Yeah.
It's pretty gooey, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, this time I'm going to keep my colours cleaner.
Okay.
So I think I'll start with the sky and the coastline and the water. Then I'll go into the actual landscape.
Okay.
Okay, I realise this is a very indulgent palette. A lot of people restrict their palette to the primaries and whatever, and that's doable. That's fine.
Sure.
And I can do it as well. But all these beautiful colours are available, and I'm like a kid in a shop, and they all give you, that different, as you said, with this colour, and with these other colours, it just gives it another sort of
sparkle
richness.
to it, isn't it? Yeah, it does, yeah.
So yeah, I do. I enjoy that part.
So you can see straight away with those undercolours that you've got, how it sort of snaps out.
Yeah. And with the first coat, if I just put it on a canvas, it would disappear almost. And this is
this helps it to really dive out, doesn't it?
But you've painted over the period of time. You've painted some fabulous pictures, and you actually even did one which was a tribute to Margaret Olley.
Yes, that was for last year's exhibition.
That's beautiful.
And I did start that earlier in the year. That was 2011, and she died some months later. So that became a very significant painting.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are also some other pieces. I mean, Coastal Impression, which I love as well, and the Tree House. Now, the Tree House was a commission, is that correct?
It is a commission, a large canvas for some local Cairns people.
And it's really with your style. There's not so much blending in. There's a lot of solid colour all the way through it.
Yeah, I think that a lot of it comes from the environment. The colour here is very definite.
Yeah.
See, so this time you can,
look at that.
You can bring those beautiful colours.
Tropical Queensland, here we are. But as you said, you can see the richness of the colour on top, utilising the colour underneath as well.
And that, as I said, would not happen with just one layer of paint. And if, say, I were working on a canvas for the whole day in an air-conditioned room like here and using the liquid, I could actually, by the end of the day, go over this area. It would be just sort of tacky, touch dry, and I could reapply a cleaner colour and it would stay. That works as well.
In doing draft paintings, I know that a lot of the old masters used to do them, and Picasso sometimes would paint 10 paintings of the one subject just to get the one that he actually wanted in the end.
It's true, yeah. And on each canvas would be a little bit different, and on each canvas you would have made one mistake and learn something new. And each it's different. Now, every canvas you do. I suppose I have thought of this actually. You could actually spend a lifetime doing one subject if you wanted to. You could, and you know that, don't you? Because every time.
A lot of them did do that too.
And next time it'll be a little bit different. It's a game that can entertain you forever and ever and ever.
Is there any particular way that you like to put your compositions together?
Composition, well, it is. It's very important. Composition is probably. If your composition isn't right to start with, you're in trouble for the rest of your painting, and it won't work. I've just stepped back to have a review of what's happening on the canvas, and I need to do a little more work in the foreground. And what happens, of course, as it gets closer, you see more detail. So at this stage, I want to define sort of the lines where the fields are going to be cut and where the creeks are cutting it, like divide that area up. And I go back to my pastel. And I'll put in my lines of suggestion, then I'll paint over it. But this is almost kind of almost going to a little bit of abstraction, isn't it?
Well,
it's playing.
I'm looking at it, I'm sort of seeing Cezanne starting to pop out here and there too.
It's playing, you know.
Great.
This is when it becomes your painting. You know, you've used the elements around you, but then it becomes your painting. And it has a little life of its own. and that's when you struggle with it, you know.
This is where the adventure starts as well.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you can, and I think in looking at pictures, you develop a story in your mind of being in the picture.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
We've got to a stage now where I think the audiences are they've gotten a great deal out of the preparation, the process of putting this together, the journey obviously that's taken with the piece. But because this was a draft painting, and they all were the ones that you've done, you've actually got the finished picture of this.
Yes.
And what I'd like to do is I'd like to put that up so that the audience can see what actually happens. I mean, a framed piece that's actually finished, literally ready to go on the home or the gallery wall. And then I'd like you to talk about that and then just sort of take us through it a little bit.
Okay.
That'd be great. Well, as you can see from those draft paintings, all the way through to an amazing finished piece of work that is framed, ready to go on the gallery wall or the home wall of course. And just a magnificent piece of work. I mean, just the subtlety of the colours, obviously the blues. You can see that this is the Northern Tropics area of Australia. Tell me a little bit about the gloss that you've got on here, Tanya.
It's a varnish.
Yeah.
It's also a Winsor & Newton.
Okay.
Varnish, and I mix a gloss and a matte together to get a sort of a satin. I find satin is often difficult to buy, and sometimes it's just a little bit flat. I like it to have a sheen, but not over gloss. So I do mix the two, and it seems to work. It seems to work.
Oh, it's come out beautifully, and even with the frame. I mean, Tanya frames her work. I mean, she's a professional artist. That's what you do. But it's just a magnificent piece of work, and congratulations on what you've done and what you're achieving. Tanya does have some other things coming up in the future, really exciting stuff. We don't want to say anything about it at the moment, but as we go along you'll probably be able to read that on the website or even Tanya's website. Now tell us, what is your website address?
TaniaHebenStudio.com.
No .au, just .com?
No .au.
Just .com, okay. It's been a fabulous day. You're an amazingly talented human being, and as I said, come into the website, or you can go to Tanya's website and see her history, what she's doing, what she's up to. Obviously purchase her work under any circumstances. My dear.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you.
Thank
and your team.
Thank you. It's
Wonderful.
been a great day once again.
Thank you.
We've got some more artists to do up here. We're going to be travelling the country. There's a lot of people that are interested in what we're doing these days, which is just great. Come into the website, see what we're up to. Once again, love to thank all of our sponsors, great people, all of the people that have been up here in the tropics, and Cairns and Port Douglas, that have done some great things for us, supported us, put us up, helped us out. To Jill Booth. Jill's basically put all this together. She's a fabulous lady.
It's been wonderful.
Yeah, she's really cool, isn't she? And we hope to get back up here again after we've done all of the filming of the people that we have here now, and show you some more of the amazing talent that this country actually has. But until we meet again, as we always say, remember, make sure you put some colour in your life, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you.
See you guys.
Thank you. Bye.
G'day folks, Graham here from Colour in Your Life. Hope you're enjoying the series. Well, as you see, every week we bring you some fantastic master artists. Now, I have spoken to all of the artists we have filmed, and each week we'll be bringing you our weekly special on one of our artists' work. You can only get these incredible pieces of art through the Colour in Your Life series and through our gallery and shop at our website, colorinyourlife.com.au. Or phone now to get this fantastic deal on this beautiful piece of art on screen now. This is a great way to put some colour in your life.